When we think of ghost stories, we may conjure up images of old castles and graveyards, complete with haunting spirits lurking in the shadows. Many people dismiss such stories as mere fantasy. However, some people are more open to paranormal activity and seek to comprehend the unknown. Are these long-forgotten souls? If so, who are they and why are they still around? These 10 prostitutes, whose sadness, despair, anger, and energy appear to refuse to leave this world, may haunt the unwary for centuries. Goldfield, Nevada, was a prosperous mining town at the turn of the 20th century, where thousands settled with the hope of striking it rich. The Goldfield Hotel was built over a mine shaft in 1908 and still stands today, along with some of the hotel's resentful spirits. Apart from a confirmed suicide in the hotel in 1915, which has been linked to ghostly sightings, the most disturbing story took place in room 109. The hotel's original owner, George Winfield, was having an affair with a prostitute named Elizabeth, who unintentionally became pregnant. In order to keep Elizabeth hidden from public view, Winfield chained her to a radiator in room 109. After the baby was born, Winfield allegedly threw him down the basement mining shaft and left Elizabeth chained to the radiator to die. Many visitors have reported seeing Elizabeth in room 109 and feeling her icy presence ever since. Cries of a baby have also been heard echoing from that room. Jerome, Arizona, was a picturesque mining town that embodied the image of the Old West in the 1920s and 1930s. In the town's red light district, the streets were lined with saloons, drunken miners, and brothels. Sammy Dean was one of the ladies of the night. Even by today's standards, she was stunningly beautiful, and she had many admirers. Dean's lifeless body was discovered on the floor of her room in Husband's Alley on July 10, 1931. She'd been beaten to death and strangled. Initially, police suspected robbery because Dean was known to carry a large amount of cash on her person at all times. When her body was discovered, her purse was empty of cash. Reports of apparitions in Husband's Alley began to emerge in the years following Dean's death. Some people claimed that a female spirit roamed the night. There have also been reports of spectral voices in empty inns and alleyways, slamming doors, the lingering scent of perfume, strange shadows, the sensation of being watched, and phantom footsteps echoing down cobblestone and dirt roads. Jerome is still known as the ghost town that converts even the most skeptic critics into believers. The identity of Sammy Dean's assassin remains unknown. The Franklin Hotel in Strawberry Point, Iowa, has had its share of visitors since the 1850s, and some of their souls may still be there. Given the hotel's history, many visitors come in the hopes of spotting Lily, the town's most famous resident. Local legend has it that Lily was a prostitute who entertained in room 7 of the hotel. Her spirit is not at rest, despite the fact that it is unknown how she died. Many visitors have reported a sad, unsettling presence in room 7, as well as strange noises. Even though the room above him was empty at the time, one gentleman who had lived in the hotel for 42 years frequently heard singing and moaning coming from it. The most intriguing story comes from Doug Schmidt, a skeptic and hotel co-owner. He noticed a woman in a long lavender gown walking from the lobby to the dining room late one night. When he told the woman that they were closed, she walked into the next room and mysteriously vanished. Schmidt is still baffled by what happened to him, but he is aware of what he witnessed. Peggy the Ghost is a Zimbabwean prostitute who roams the streets at night looking for rides and a man's company. Although it is only folklore, this is one of Zimbabwe's most famous mysteries. It has lasted decades and has included numerous witness testimonies about the Midnight Beauty. Peggy was a well-known prostitute in Highfield, one of Harare's oldest suburbs, according to legend. The beautiful Peggy was brutally murdered by a jealous client in her late 20s, causing her troubled spirit to haunt the dark roads by hitchhiking past midnight. When men stop to pick her up, one of two things happens: they are either deathly surprised by the woman's sudden, mysterious disappearance from their vehicle, or they wake up in the local cemetery, presumably where she was buried. In the 19th century, Virginia City, Nevada, was the most important industrial mining city between Denver and San Francisco. Virginia City is now better known for the endless stories that inspire ghost tours of the eerie historic town. The Silver Queen Hotel, which was built in the 1800s, is a particularly terrifying location. Room 11 is said to be the most haunted. A prostitute named Rosie committed suicide there. Many people think Rosie is still alive. Hundreds of guests have reported unexplained whispering in the empty halls late at night, doors slamming on their own, footsteps on the empty balcony, growls coming from room 11, and other strange occurrences. Items also mysteriously fall off shelves. Because a large number of guests fled the hotel in fear during the early morning hours, it appears that Rosie's restless soul is still present.